736 KTRS. This is Jay Kanzler, and on the phone with us is Bob Zany, my good friend, one of the hardest working men in show business, and one of the funniest men you will ever want to meet. Good morning, Bob.
You sounded pained in saying that.
It is. You are. It was the good friend part. That was the
yeah,
pain
that's
part.
a tough one, isn't it? You should probably return calls, and that would help out with that good friend thing. But at least you text once in a while with a joke.
Yeah,
that's how we met.
That's right. People probably remember you from St. Louis, although you were not on that other show, the Bob and Tom Show. But remember you with the Zany Report.
The Zany Report, still doing it about 28 radio stations across this great land we call America. Every week I do it, and then I'm going to start up in the first year Facebook Live and then YouTube channel, so it's going to be kind of exciting.
So, you do the Zany Report, and it's I love the Zany Report, but you also had a thing called Fix the Joke, Baby, where you allow people to fix the joke, and I fixed one of your jokes. And that's how we met.
I actually picked it, and to this day I regret that decision.
For that day, I've been hounding you nonstop. Now, so let's say I did a documentary film about you, Bob.
Yeah, I remember. I was there.
You were there, and we looked at. It's called Close But No Cigar.
Yeah.
Why'd we name it that?
Because I've had a lot of great breaks in this business, but they weren't the break that we were looking for, and we thought this was going to be it, and who knew it'd become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, one of the things, I love your story. I love the fact that you've been doing stand-up comedy for all these years, but I love where you started, and working, started with the Gong Show.
That's right. I was on the Gong Show, Jay. When 15, going on 16, 1977, doing stand-up comedy for the very first time. I always like to equate how I got started with, you've heard of garage bands?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was a bathroom mirror comedian. And I had never performed in my life in front of an audience, so why not tackle national television? And that's what I did.
How'd you fare? You tell the listeners.
I was, as you know, and you've probably seen the clip probably more than anyone else now with the editing process. I did my stand-up, and I was pulled off stage by a man dressed like a nun with a big net. So that was my reward for going into show business. But as you know, too, that I got paid $125.98 and a waffle iron.
See, I guess that made it okay.
Yeah. Well, my parents weren't happy because we were a pancake family.
That's true.
All right, now, Jay, is Willie there with you?
Willie's over in the corner. Hey, Willie.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well, just enjoying the show, listening to you guys talk.
Okay, then it didn't mean to bother you, Willie. Why don't you get back to what you do best and just stay quiet and add nothing to the program.
That's the best way it works.
I know.
You're coming to the St. Louis area.
Yeah, Jerseyville. I'm very excited. Illinois, Jerseyville, Illinois, State Bar and Grill for New Year's Eve. Friday night we're doing a big show, and then Saturday probably 2 shows at the State Bar and Grill. And I get a new pin on my map. As you know, Jay, I have a map pin of the United States. I've performed at all 50 states and now 9 countries. So Jerseyville is not on that pin map, though we do know Galesburg, Illinois is.
Absolutely, where we filmed your comedy special.
The hour special, and a lot of people don't know this. The affiliate there got behind it, and we had the Bob Zany parade, and it actually rained on my parade.
Yes, it did.
You can't write that, and people probably think we planned it that way. Like we looked at the forecast.
There's one of the parts of the movie where there you are, the rain coming down in the parade, riding in the front of a front loader, a tractor.
A front loader, yeah, and I was holding a puppy.
That's right.
Because I'm a big dog person, and I think we got that dog rescued that day, unlike me.
Now, the documentary, the special, those are still available, right?
Those are still available. You go to bobzany.com, and you can click over. I believe they're on Amazon, and also you can download them, which is what all the kids are doing. As you know, I try to keep up with the kids. Right now, I'm downloading all my 8 tracks to cassette.
Good. I'm glad you're right up to
I'm right up there. And by the way, I do want to pitch this to you right now since I've got you on the air and you're kind of stuck. I think the next documentary should be called Cigar, meaning I made it.
Sure. Don't you have to make it first, though?
Thank you, Jay. It's always a pleasure to be on a show where you're filling in.
Thank you very much.
But I just think that the way I look at things is that you just keep going. That's all you can do. I've been reading I'm writing the autobiography right now. It's kind of like a companion piece to the documentary. We probably got maybe 3% of my career in it.
Yeah, I mean the amount of material that we had to work with was amazing. You have been at it for a long time. You've worked with everybody.
I really have, and the two main ones, which I was just thinking about this other day, Rodney Dangerfield, who I worked for 2 years, and Jerry Lewis for 17 on the telephone. So two of the greatest comedians in the business I've had a chance to be. If it was a Kevin Bacon number, it'd be one.
Right.
But I think that I'm playing with the idea of the title of the biography. It's called Plan C, Baby. It all started with the word no.
You've heard no a lot, but you've heard...
Well, you all have.
Well,
Anybody who's successful has heard no, and the problem is people who look at successful people, they think they never hear no, and it's not true.
And that's what I was going to say. You've heard no a lot, but you've also heard yes an awful lot.
Yeah, and, it's an odd thing, sure. I think 9 out of 10 times. You just stick with it. My favorite story was I did that movie with Linda Blair and Murray Langston, the unknown comic, called Up Your Alley. I played a homeless man on the streets, and my friend, Bob Logan, who wrote and directed it, he said, Bob, you're in the film, and, it's a starring role. And then he said, Bob, you're out of the film because they wanted Sidney Lassick, who was in The One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I said, I get it. You get a bigger name. That's fine. And then he didn't want to do it, so he came back to me and said, Bob, you're back in the film. I said, oh, great. And then something else happened where Sidney changed his mind and said, maybe I'll do this. And he said, you're out of the film. And then one day, Bob and we went to go play golf at the Studio City golf course, and we're walking out towards the first hole, and he turns to me and says, you're back in the movie. And I said, well, do you mind if I don't get excited?
That's right. That's the way this business is.
Yeah. But, it's a thing where you just keep going. And, I've actually spoken to some classes now in comedy. I was at the University of Iowa speaking to a comedy class, and I kind of regret I didn't bring this up. People say, well, what do you got to do to be in show business? And Jay, you've done this. You've worked really hard. You've done a lot of great stuff, and you know what it's like. But I think everybody should watch the YouTube video Pizza Rat. Now, there's this rat in New York City who's dragging this giant piece of pizza, and he won't give up. He won't give up, and that's what you have to be. You have to be Pizza Rat.
Listen, Bob, I agree with you. Can you stick around? We have to take care of some business, some sports weather.
And I thought I might do a little Zany report for you, and then that way you can get back your chops of rewriting my jokes.
Very good. It's 7:43. We'll be right back with sports and weather, and then some more.